What's up, beautiful people? What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the show. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the show. And guys, Oregon-Washington gave us a show. It's like one of those games, like if your homie couldn't make it or see it, you're like, man, you missed it, man. You missed it. Like you had game going back and forth. Michael Penix Jr. making plays, Bo Nix. Coach, you enjoyed a double-digit lead midway through the first half, but then Iona goes on a 12-0 run. What do you have to do differently in the second half to make sure they don't pull back into the game?
Got to do a better job on AG and Crawford. They both got it going. Started out with great defensive intensity and play with great pace. And, you know, we went to the bench. Those guys didn't maintain the level.
I won't tell people in the break room that you're giving me a hard time about saying that Kyrie Irving is a defensive player, which I don't know where you got that
I did not say that. I said sometimes he shows up. I said sometimes he shows up when it's personal. Okay. But then top six still tied at 1. Wilmer Flores takes Williamson. We are not related, people. Deep to left field. There it goes. A solo shot. Giants take a 2-1 lead. Well, he is an icon in Syracuse sports, just in college basketball history, period. I mean, the 2-3 zone is synonymous with James Boeheim, and that was something that allowed him to have so much success. Anything special you're going to do to celebrate, or?
No, I got my swimming sauna before the game, so I'm good, man. I'll probably just go get a good meal and watch that tape of Mitch Richmond dunking on you.
Wow. Wow, that's cold.
So back-to-back losses from Miami has dropped that team from a top 15 this season to potentially outside the top 25.
Wait, so, Brad, you weren't impressed with what they did, at least in the first half? I mean, I know it's 4 quarters, but...
Games aren't won in the first half.
There's no regulation, right? And the NCAA had all these years to prepare for something like this. And then when it happens, it's like a madhouse. It's the Wild Wild West. Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome to PointsBet Postgame Live. I'm Chris Williamson, and he is Jim Duquette. What a game. I mean, you talk about a special showing from the Mets. They finally get a sweep on the year, and now they have their largest Memorial Day lead ever. Chip, it's extremely hard, as you know, to shut down Caleb Williams and the Trojans' offense, averaging an FBS best 51.8 points per game. So how can the Irish slow them down? Cool story, Jeff, is going to be if Pete Alonso is able to win his 3rd straight home run derby. So what are you expecting from your teammate, who obviously has put out special performances the last 2 years?
Yeah, I expect,
My sports affirmation of the day is I never lose. Like, I never lose in life. Whether if I have a setback, that means it's going to prepare me for a greater comeback. If I make a mistake, and I'm not able to finish it or I'm not able to correct it, that just means I ran out of time. You see, there have only been 19 black head coaches in the NFL's modern history, yet they've compiled a winning record collectively. In 2021, with the updated Rooney Rule and more, it's outrageous that there are only 3 black head coaches out of 32 teams. This in a league where the labor is nearly 70% black. Now, what was it like to hear Muhammad Ali tell you, he said that you're the greatest one there is, like me? To have somebody of such status and somebody who's revered in the boxing world, what did that do for your spirit?
What it did for my spirit when Muhammad Ali said that, it like, wow, this man said this to me. It's great, you know, because we were actually in Toronto at the time, and he whispered, he goes, I used to be great, but now you're the greatest. I was like, no, you're still the greatest. But
hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought Victor was finished growing? That Victor being, of course, Victor Wembanyama, the NBA's top prospect, reportedly now measures at 7'5" with an 8-foot wingspan. It's incredible how Atlanta is able to get bargains on all these players. Does that surprise you with how much players would want? Maurice Sider. It's got me hungry and thirsty at the same time with that name. Last one in to win it. Detroit wins 4-3. That's 10 straight losses for the Islanders. Why you tearing up, bro?
Growing up right before your eyes.
Right,
you look
like
good, baby.
You act like a kid.
You look good, baby.
Whippersnapper, man.
Boy, you ain't know me. But here's the funny thing. This morning I got a call from Steve, and he warned me about some possible tension between
no question.
2 guys.
There's always going to be tension with me and Mark.
Yeah,
it's still family.
That never stops. Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm here joined alongside by our one and only SNY NBA insider, Ian Begley. And the Knicks somehow always make things very interesting. They don't go as scripted. We could go so many different ways, Ian, but what do you make of the Knicks' moves in this first round? But we start with Jacob deGrom and the Mets in Oakland, where he shockingly showed us that he's only human after all. Don't put your blame on him. Except in this case, you kind of can do that, Michelle. I know you weren't prepared for that. You know, there was one game where they're changing your name after the game. How surreal is that for a guy who was undrafted? You worked your butt off to hear people chant Jose, Jose with the Puerto Rican flags and everything.
I mean, that's just something like, just put the cherry on top of all this, dreaming to be an NBA player.
Not only has the season undoubtedly cost Bowles his job, but his mouth last Sunday cost him some major cash. The NFL fined him $25,000 Saturday for criticizing the refs after the Packers game. So now he's got to make it rain. He's got to make it rain for the league, people.
There's no gambling at Bushwood. We have a pool and a pond. The pond would be better for you. You'll get nothing and like it. Are all lines from which movie?
Caddyshack. Come on now. I know about this, bro. I'm old school. You got to remember now.
Oh, so
my parents
not that old.
I'm not that old, but I love the classics. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember this line from Caddyshack? Don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch.
How you went there?
Remember that?
The world needs stitch stickers too.
Right.
But Zach Wilson doesn't know any of these lines. The offense coordinator, Mike LaFleur, says when they bring him up in team meetings, he says, Caddyshack, never heard of it.
They're not movie buffs like we are.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Geico Sports Night. For Danny Noonan, I'm Ty Webb. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic Friday. How about Fletch? Seen that? Stripes?
No.
Meatballs? Vacation? I thought you were old school.